Artificial intelligence is changing everything. I'm on a journey to use AI to simplify my life. You're welcome to join me as I explore, experiment, and share everything I learn. Quick disclaimer: this series is more for me than it is for you. I offer no guarantee that this will be either entertaining or informative. With that, let's look at this next topic. Welcome to the first video in the actual playlist, Learning AI. One of the most common uses of AI is to study, or at least to complete school assignments, right? What better way to start my journey with AI than to build an AI course? In today's call, I'll talk through the course I created using Gemini, Google's AI chatbot. Now, I started with this prompt. I want to become comfortable with the AI tools currently available. Can you help me build a course designed to help me learn about and become comfortable using AI tools? And you can read the rest of it here. To start off, I'd like to analyze this prompt. Prompting is a lot of what you do with AI chatbots, and so let's take a second and look at this one. If we look at each sentence, I think I start off fairly well. I give a direction. Um, I give Gemini, some some guidance on what I want. The second sentence, can you help me build a course designed to help me learn about and become comfortable using AI tools? I think this is kind of continuing along with the first. It narrows down, I want a course. It kind of maintains the direction, like I want to become comfortable with tools. This question is at odds a bit with a little bit later in the prompt, though, and we'll talk about that. Uh, Next, here's a few topics I want to learn about: general AI knowledge, specific use cases, different tools and their strengths, etc. I think that's helpful because it further clarifies the specifics of what I want to talk about. However, I think between these two, they aren't really that different, right? Specific use cases and different tools. Um, those could easily be like one section of a course and not really quite separate. And even while I was writing this prompt, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to learn about, right? I was just kind of writing some things down. That's kind of where that came from. So I think looking back, I would either add a third one there, or just combine those into one. Um, After that, of course, for each of these topics, create a structured learning plan with details of what I want in that learning plan. Some assignments, project, and a reference, assignment that I can use as a reference. Um, I think this is helpful for further details on what I want, right? But this part is at odds with the previous question. This up here is a statement that is designed to start a dialogue, right? Can you help me build a course? A natural response to that is, yeah, sure. What kind of course do you want, etc. And then down here, I'm like, oh, I want this specifically. So this isn't quite in alignment with that. I mean, it's not terrible, right? It's still got a course, but I think it could be even better just to clarify what I want first, and then write the prompt. Um, and you can see that in this prompt, I started writing before I really knew what I wanted. I had a general idea. I was like, "Can you help me do this?" That's kind of what I want to learn about. And I was like, "Wait a second, what do I want to do?" And then I had a more detailed instruction for Gemini to complete. Looking back, I think on that piece particularly, I would have this be the main output, right? I don't know if I would include this at all, um, or I would make it different. Please build a course designed to help me learn about these topics. In that course, include these. Maybe I'm splitting hairs here, but I think that's one way that I think I could improve, or that this prompt could improve. And the lesson that I take from this analysis is particularly once you write a prompt, take a look at it, make sure that it's what you want, and then go forward with it instead of just kind of vibe coding. Yeah. Now I also asked Gemini about to evaluate my prompt, and this is a couple areas that Gemini responded with. there's a lack of a target audience, right? The target audience really is me, but it doesn't specify my current level of AI usage, my learning style, etc. Is this for a complete beginner? Is it for someone with a little bit of a technical background or a non-technical person? Um, and that context would give Gemini a little bit more instruction on what kind of course they should make, right? Additionally, I say I want to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable. That's a little ambiguous. Am I looking to? Do I just want to understand models? Do I want to be able to actively build and deploy AI models? A little bit more success criteria would be helpful there, according to Gemini. Um, there's no preferred learning format, right? I say create a structured learning plan, but structured with what? Video lectures, readings, hands-on labs, etc. I fixed that a little bit later with a new prompt, but adding that in here would have helped it. I'm missing constraints or preferences. No details about like what time limit, what kind of pace am I looking at, any specific tools that I already have access to. Am I interested in open source tools, cloud-based platforms, specific programming languages, etc.? No kind of constraints, preferences, or parameters there. And finally, Gemini says that I lack context for a reference assignment. What do I mean when I say reference assignment? Do I want a cheat sheet, a project template, etc.? So if I clarify that, Gemini would have an easier time giving me what I want. So even with those wrapped up, I think the first lesson I'm taking from from analyzing this first prompt that I used to create a course is I need to know what I want. It's better to know what you want before you prompt than to try fixing it afterward. I've learned that a little bit. This is the first thing I've done, right? At the time of recording this video, I've done a few other things as well. I've finished one of the topics in the course, and knowing what you want before you prompt is really important. It is difficult to change the output that Gemini or ChatGPT or other chatbots give you after they have anchored in it with a certain output, right? With a certain way of writing things, etc. And so once you start, it's hard to modify that. Maybe some people can do it better. I'll probably get better at it as time goes on for sure. But having a good starting place is crucial. Now, regardless of my imperfect prompt, Gemini did give me a course to learn AI. So let's take a look at that. AI Tools Immersion Course, From Concepts to Creation. Designed to take you from a curious beginner to a confident user. So it just kind of assumed that I was a beginner. Just isn't that far off. Cover fundamental concepts, explore practical use cases, and practice the variety of powerful applications. So it split it into the 3 topics, of course: general AI knowledge, specific use cases, and different tools and their strengths. It did give me an overview of a learning plan, some assignments, the ones I asked for: small, reference large. Same here: learning plan, assignments, learning plan, assignments. And you'll notice here that the assignments here are a lot more about the tools and whatnot, which they're supposed to be, but they're pretty similar to, well, maybe not. No, this is the first one. I still think these could have been combined into one. Like the AI tools and their strengths. Ethical AI is important, and that is a topic for a different time. I think something else would have fit better here. I don't know if there's quite enough material to cover this just by itself. I think it has some good ones, but anyways. So it gave me what I wanted. It had a learning plan, kind of bare bones, right? Which brought me to the next prompt that I wrote. I have a course now. And I know that by the end of this course, I'll have a lot more knowledge about AI. I'll have a few things that I've worked on, a few reference documents as well that I can use going forward. And now the next step, if you see here, it has this learning plan. Where do I get the actual material? right? The actual material to read. I am sure that Gemini could produce a lot of content about what these things are. I don't trust all the information within Gemini quite yet. So in this next prompt, I if I can get there, yeah, for the next course, hey, give me a video. That's nice. I asked it to start with the first topic, and for each of the bullet point in the learning plan for topic 1, can you provide links to 2 research articles, 2 news articles, and 1 video? So this is a way that you can expand on the initial content, right, that Gemini provides. So this I'm not asking it to change a whole lot. I'm asking it for additional generating stuff, and that helps a lot. That Gemini can do that really well. So with this, of course, it gave me what it believed was 2 research articles, 2 news articles, and then a video for each of those sections, right? What is AI, machine learning, generative AI, and key terminology. So with this, I have a lot of reading to do, a lot of topics to cover. And then I wanted to know if it can create. Yeah, that's like I was testing the boundaries of Gemini. It cannot create folders and documents in Google Drive, which is unfortunate. But it did create a structured Markdown file for all of these. I didn't use this because this was too much. But I can do that too. So in the comments, or not comments, in the description of this video, I'll include a link to the prompts that I'm using as I go along. If you want to copy, paste, modify, make it better, I encourage you to modify, make it better, as well as the actual documentation itself, what it provided. So those will all be included in the description of this video. And yeah, next step is to do a bunch of reading. I am suddenly reminded of college, and we'll see how it pans out. Thanks for watching.